Hello viewers and welcome to the very first episode of Trashtalk on Battletech, where I will be discussing about the various units in Battletech, whether it's battlemech, combat vehicles, aerospace fighters, or dropships. Except warships. Warships can fuck off because I cannot even fathom the complicated rule set for warship battle. Maybe I will do so in the future, but for now, let's talk about something. You see, before I started making this video, I did watch a couple other YouTubers reviewing mechs, but all of them are usually famous and iconic, one like this one, and this hot garbage here. Thus, I have decided to talk more about the hidden units in Battletech, the one that nobody knows, especially those that played only the video games. So, let's entirely ignore what I just said completely and review an iconic battlemech today because I wanted to do this review for a long time already. One that every mech warrior players will know no matter what. The Bushwacker. From the video game to the video game, the Bushwacker is ever present as the poster child of cool battlemech. Seriously, it looks like a goddamn attack helicopter with legs. In fact, it's so ever present that it's also in that. My home planet! You know, that. Anyway, let's talk history. Originally, the Bushwacker was a failed concept idea launched by the Tharhas Industries. Simply put, they sucked at making a mech this sexy. And then shit hit the fans as clan invasion went in full force, but luckily the Tharhas Industries managed to get their hands on a vulture, or as the clan called it, Mad Dog. With information gleaned from the clan mech, Tharhas Industries finally solved the issue with the prototype and Bushwacker went on full production after the Truce of Tukid. Since then, the mech became a favorite of mech warriors from the Capellan and Draconis marches of the Federated Sun. Weighing at 55 tons, the first Bushwacker model, Bsw L1, is fast at 86 km per hour, giving it a decent 5/8 speed at the cost of the fragile Hermes 275 extra light engine. 9 tons of ferrofibrous armor covered its standard structure, not as high as it should be, but it's decent protection. And of course, it has double heatsink installed. So everything should work out fine for this legendary mech that every mech warrior player have tried out once, right? Unfortunately, whoever decided its armament have no idea what the hell they are doing. Large laser and 2 LRM-5 for long range, autocannon 10 for mid-range and 2 machine guns for anti-infantry pew-pew. This is terrible. It was apparently made to be a long-range fighter, but sad to say, it cannot do anything right. No matter what range it's engaging at, it just cannot do enough damage before dying to enemy fire. The only good thing about it is that it has some anti-infantry capability. One would suggest using its speed to control the distance, but with the proliferation of XL engine, more and more mech will be running as fast or even faster than it. On top of that, its ammunition endurance is rubbish as the AC-10 only has 10 shots while the dual LRM-5 have 12 salvos each. Which makes the next issue even worse as for some god-awful reason, it has an additional heatsink. What is that heatsink even for? The large laser produces lots of heat, but that's like 12 heat against 22 worth of heat sinks. It's gonna run cooler than my jury-rigged computer. The Bsw L1 is just bad decision after bad decision. But luckily, its variants are aimed to fix its issue. Bsw L2 is exactly the same as the X1 model except for one change. It removed the large laser for 2 medium pulse lasers and another LRM-5. This is one of the few times where I will accept that a medium pulse laser variant is a better choice, as this gives the Bushwacker some well-deserved close-range damage. The extra LRM-5 however is a bad choice, as there is still only 1 ton of LRM ammo, which means the X2 will run out of LRM ammo faster and not doing more damage at the same time. But thankfully the extra heatsink is out. The Bsw S2 is instead what the Bushwacker should have been. All the armaments except the large laser are taken out and in their place are the LBX-10, 2 SRM-4 and an anti-missile system. Now this is an actual good mech. Large laser to deal damage at all range, serving more like a sidearm than main gun. LBX-10 to knock out vehicles and aircrafts, have longer range than regular AC, and have 2 tons of ammo for combat endurance. Along with the dual SRM-4 for close range damage, this variant has a lot of chances to crit its target along with actual damage to start shattering armor. While I would have preferred something else, the AMS is still a nice defensive system to deal with missile attack. All in all, a good battlemech that knows its role. There's also a Bsw S2R variant, made during the Jihad. It swapped out a SRM-4 and large laser for an amazing plasma rifle that's super good at frying infantries and tanks alike. However, the gun only has 10 shots, so that pyromaniac fun is not gonna last very long. Lastly, and probably the oddball among all variants here, Bsw L1. A Eliran variant that not only gave the Bushwacker an antosteel skeleton instead of ferrofibrous armor, but also switched out the engine for a light version as well as increasing its armor tonnage to max capacity. Of course, since it's a Eliran variant, it has a big gun installed into it. A massive LBX-20 with 3 tons of ammo and the ever-present ER large laser. This gives the Bushwacker a nice close-range punch without making it completely harmless at long range. Not only that, the light engine and increased armor give the Bushwacker increased durability over the other variants, as this is the only whacker that won't die after losing a side torso. As a final verdict, the Bushwacker is a mech that, while initially terrible, gets quite excellent as a mid-to-close range fighter later on. It's also a walking proof that making a medium mech that can do everything is gonna be bad. That's what heavy and assault meshes are for. Well, I guess we are done with this episode of Trashtalk on Battletech, so I will see you all next time. Oh yeah, and just to remind people, if you want me to review a specific battle mech, combat vehicles, aerospace fighters, dropships or whatever, just comment below about it. I'm not going to make a poll with hundreds or even thousands of units together, that's insane. Well, later.